Hello, it is your sleepless god again, back with What If Percy Was Trained by Persephone and Hades, part 5. Now, I know you love these videos, so calm down if I don't post them for a little bit. I post a new series. Watch the other series too. Like, come on, bro. But, like, I love you guys, so, like, let's do this. So, last time we left off, Percy, Annabeth, Luke, and Talia. Sorry, forgot her name. Talia. We're basically planning out plans to do things because Luke and Talia, but the rest were following along. Because Luke realized that the second in command of right now is going to be more inclined to be more into Talia's lead than in Percy's. Percy is already hated basically by him because they realize he's a son or Campeone of Hades, and they're like, okay, that's not gonna work. So, and one of the big three, and which one is the other big three? But Talia. Talia is going to be their basically free ride. So her winning the chariot race is major, as you know, Luke and Percy scared off the birds. And after that, they basically had a secret team meeting with all the campers and decided that Luke and Talia's and Annabeth's plan is worth getting into. So that's where we left off last time. Let's start the video. So now it's time for plan to start. So right when the campfire started, not instantaneously, but he gave it like 30 seconds, and then he said, we should go for after the fleece. As like instantaneously, like second in command shot it down because it's Percy. Percy says it. He says, "Nah, no, there. You have no idea where the fleece is. I have absolutely idea where the fleece is." And he starts, trying to ramp him, and that's where Annabeth pops up and says, "Hey, you come on, for this camp and for our safety, we should allow Percy to do this." And Annabeth is basically both of them forcing this on his idealism system. He still tries to tell the story, but basically Percy says, and that's why you were in the underworld, basically starving to death. So for kids like us, he is nothing but a weak monster. And with him, like Percy and Annabeth basically pushing his buttons, basically like okay, if his buttons were a giant red button, Percy and Annabeth were basically fucking hammering it with fucking sledgehammers. They two were hitting it hard and basically trying to get him to a rage monster. So he did it. He finally said, "Okay, I'll allow you guys to go on a quest." Like us, he's like, "Of course not, you two." He's like, "We're gonna let someone who is qualified, who has shown that she has strength in the camp and also loyalty. Let Talia go." And in like. Percy looked downtrodden. Try to look as much downtrodden as physically possible, even though he's the most happiest person here, because he just said the most happiest words that he has ever heard. You are allowed to go, basically. Talia stands up and says, "I'd love to go, but I will have to bring my second in command." Says, "What would that be?" And he says, "My second command will be, Luke." And he's like, "Absolutely, bring Luke. One of our genius campers, obviously bring Luke." As Luke and Talia get ready for it, and then it's time for Percy trying to figure out what the fuck did he do. So he's actually like, he hasn't planned that out yet. He thought, get this done, well, the rest can figure it out itself. Usually Percy's a lot smarter than this, and also Annabeth's a lot smarter than this, but both of them thought, oh fuck, they didn't think this could get done. This got done. Holy shit, they fucking got aside of this shit. But now when they started packing, Annabeth and Percy started packing because they thought they'd just run away. But like also, like, what could happen? So he started late in the night just feeding the horses, and he also walked to the beach because he has to, like, the water cools him, makes him think, makes him focus. And this is where he met Luke's dad. Met him as a jogger. He jogging. He's like, let me talk to you for a little bit. As they start talking, and he's like, yeah. He's like, you're not. Us gods are not gonna like get everything. So he says, what? What do you mean by that? He's like, you're struggling with your power, aren't you? So what do you mean by that? It's like, I'm the messenger god. I hear everything. I know almost everything. So what the fucking sun god is dealing with most of the time, but like, I know almost everything you talk about. Both of your fathers talk to you with proudness. Also, I have a note for your father. Is it a letter or something? No, just a note. Just a sign. He gave me it to you before he left. Left for what? He says, he didn't tell me yet. But he told me, trust me, son. That's it? That's it. But I think he meant something about it. As he took a phone call, he's like, as Percy's now saw the little two snakes, and he's like, hello? No, I'm. Then says they get lost in storage or something. No, I am not delivering another pack. This is why we had our business organized in this way, so I don't have to do this anymore. Corporate, okay. First things first, no. Second things second, no. First, figure that out yourself. And second, go put it, say it got lost in packaging. It'll give you a couple days to figure it out. I don't care if it's an ancient artifact. It's not. It doesn't matter. He shuts his phone. And he looks over and he says, "Okay, so Percy, you gotta understand. We will help as best as possible, but we can't help everything. Hades has helped you enough." As he looks down and looks up at his necklace and then looks down at his looks right where the pocket where the pen is. Like, both of your fathers helped you so much in your life. That pen, that necklace, who we both know those are swords, are a help indeed. As says, thanks, but says, okay, let me tell you a story. There's a young man, very young indeed, actually, very young and foolish, and he's took the cows of one of the gods. And instead of getting punished for it, he gave the gods a gift. And the god decided to give him a couple of cattle for that gift. That god was me. This is what the meaning of the story says. If you're clever enough, and if you're wise enough, and you can play the tricks of the trade, you can do anything. Sometimes you gotta pray, though, and sometimes you just gotta believe. As he points his hand out, as the boat, a boat is right there. I told you. Now hurry your asses up. As you know, he's like, fuck. And he rushes. He gets Annabeth. He gets oh, Tyson's already up first. Tyson's been up for a while. He's like, Percy, where have you been? Don't worry about me. Get up, grab your stuff, grab an extra sword, grab some of the equipment. Let's get going. And he pops out of his room as he's like, fuck, shit. As he rushes to Annabeth's cabin, and it's like, it's out, like it's bad rules, but fuck it. He opens the window gently opening a window. He pops into this cabin, very beautiful, very organized, but also like a bunch of chaos. He's like, right, sneaks over to Annabeth's cabin and wakes her up. As Annabeth like opens her eyes and she's like, Percy, like, shh. Grab your stuff. Meet me by the beach. Fast, but stay stealthy. I was like, what do you grab stuff? Beach. What? Okay. I'll meet you in a minute. Okay. Be fast with it. As he starts, the creak in the floorboards as he looks around and no one stirs. And he rushes out, sneaks around, closes the window, keeps on running, runs back into the beaches. Tyson's already ready. Tyson grabbed a very long spear, like longer than Talia's even. Like Talia's roughly around like 6 foot tall. Tyson's like 9 foot tall, and like a bag full of equipment, food, stuff like that. As the god's still there. The god left, but Luke's dad left, but he left a bag full of like, he bought like gummies, the winds, and he put like a instruction manual for him, like don't release him on it, all of them. Brought some nectar as well. As like a couple minutes later, Annabeth walks out. Like some of her hair is still like squirrely, but not as bad as like, it's like what do you? It's like, it points over to the ship and says, "This is how we're getting out of here." As it's like, you think that would be okay? It's just be one way or another. I was like, it's like, how can we get out there? Like, I'm like a sea god. Like, as he looks over at the beaches, he sees seahorses. He says, as he kisses his necklace, and he points up to the god above and says, "Thank you very much, my father Poseidon." As he hops up onto all of them hops up onto the seahorses, Tyson hopping up into the biggest one, and they ride off into the sunset. As they finally make it to the Queen's Anne's Revenge. Percy read that on the side of the ship. It took him like 30 seconds. Like, oh my gosh. It's like, Annabeth, can you see that? Well, give me a second. I got it. I think I got it. Queen's Anne Revenge. As both of them hiked up, as Tyson pat is like, it's like, good horsey, good. And he gets up on the ship as Annabeth looks at Percy and says, "You up next." Percy climbs up the ship next, as Annabeth climbs up the ship next, as all of them are now on the ship. As he looks at there, he started like stealthing around, but they realize there's not a lot of people here. It's literally dead. So like, it's like there's no one here. So both Annabeth, Percy, and Tyson all kind of just go into like different sections. As Annabeth's like, I choose like, and just chose a room, and then Annabeth's like, my own room. It's like, would it be safer if like we all my own room? And he like, Percy's like, puts his hands up and just says, okay, I don't, like, I can't like force you or anything like that. Like, that's That's your decision, bro. As Percy and Tyson all chose a room, and Tyson's like, so what's this all about? Because he really doesn't know. He kind of and Percy kind of told him plan about the things, but he didn't really like know what's going on. But now he knows. And he's like, oh, so protect Talia, protect Percy, protect sweet girl, protect older brother's older brother. So what are you talking about? It's like blonde hair boy. It's like, yeah, let's call us the trio, okay? Protect the trio. As like, yes. As Percy, Tyson, and Annabeth all go to bed. And when they wake up in the morning, before they wake up in the morning, Percy had a dream. Percy had a dream of Talia and gosh dang it, Luke on a ship flying, going to the same area that they are right now, and will meet up sooner than later. As when he woke up, he looked over at Tyson, as Tyson's spear is gone, and Tyson wasn't there. As this is where we're going to end it off. I hope you guys like this video. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.